my to-do list. Yo, what up? It's your boy, JJ Stone, a.k.a. Black Gritty. Bear with me. I forgot how to do this because I have taken a hiatus. But I've been doing my shows. I showed up for Johnny Marks doing a live show. What have you been up to, Jason?
We've been negotiating, right? So I can see if I could rejoin the show or not. It's free agency time.
That's true.
You were generous.
That's
you know,
true.
You multiplied what I make by 2.
That's right.
I'm back now.
That's right. He said, I'm not coming back unless it's a 50% raise. I said, double it.
Double it.
Double it. Put 2 extra zeros
That's
on that thing.
You know all zeros now.
It's all it's all zeros.
Many as you want.
It's all zeros now. Put all the zeros on that thing, player. Put them all on there. So everybody's upset. Everybody's freaking out.
Yeah. Panic time, right?
How's your dad doing?
Oh, you know, he wants to know what the hell the Eagles are up to.
Yeah. He like everybody else. So it's funny because, man, right now everybody's upset. They want things to go. Didn't Howie have something to say about that?
Yeah, before at the combine, he told everybody, like, listen, this roster is going to lose some key players. We just got to be patient, and there's a vision, and we'll find out what it looks like when the season starts, which I don't think it starts in March.
I almost think it's verbatim of what you just said. I think that's verbatim what he said.
Pretty close.
Now, I'm thinking to myself, like, I got a West Coast Swoops, Ron. I'm about to block him on my phone. He is just every 2 seconds. He is worried about everything, and he is so upset. And I'm like, at what point? Again, we talk about this all the time. Once you get me locked in on something,
yeah,
it's Howie season, and I can bend the knee to that. Now I'm a Nick guy. You know what I mean? Like, I have to accept that the team knows what they're doing, and it's hard to repeat. It's hard to three-peat, apparently.
I mean, early in the season last year, we said no more Howie season. We'll never say it again. And then they won the Super Bowl. So, you know, we're back to Howie season, and I believe.
Yep. And at this point, all of his other picks have come to fruition, right, which I believe so much in belongs to coaching credit.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. These new coaching staffs really developing the young defensive players, especially.
Yes, they've turned them around night and day. And not only turn them around, Vic Fangio has done the thing that we wanted other coaches to do, that Doug Peterson wanted. Doug Peterson wanted control of his team. Right. He's like, I'm tired of putting J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and Mac Hollins out here on this field. I don't want to do it. And Howie's like, well, I drafted them way early. They got to be out there. And they were out there. You remember when that one clip where they were arguing on the field and they tried to like play it off, but somebody caught a pick of it?
Yep. That
is not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, the Jalen Ragers, the Arcega-Whiteside plus the umbrella, the sunbrella.
Yeah, it's over. Huff, hey, bro, you suck. Vic Fangio's, he's not playing.
Yeah, there was never anything, right?
No question. Howie spent a mint on him. Talk about one of the misses.
Yep.
But Howie didn't have control over it to force him on the field.
No, a healthy inactive during the Super Bowl.
Wow, right?
Biggest contract of the offseason and a healthy inactive.
So that allows me to have full faith in Howie's season, because even if he does, quote unquote, have a bad draft pick, make a mistake, our coaching staff is not going to allow that mistake to hurt us. Okay. They have some kind of cachet. Nick has earned some kind of cachet. You know, they brought from within, which that's the one thing I don't like about Howie's season. I don't like that. I wanted somebody from the outside, but they brought somebody from the inside, and hopefully he'll stay here for 2 or 3 years. So Jalen can have at least a 3-year window of consistency, but we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, we talked all year. This was the deepest team in the NFL, right? So the guys that are gone, there's already names that can fill in for that. And they're names that we know already, and we know that they can produce, right? Well, Josh Sweat is now Jalix Hunt. Yep. A guy that we didn't believe in last year, but Jalix Hunt showed out in the Super Bowl just as much as Josh Sweat did.
Yeah. And again, it's not that we didn't believe in him. We didn't know. He's a 3rd-round pick out of a Christian school. Like, we're like, come on, bro. You out here praising. You know what I mean? You throwing some holy water on people? Like, what are we doing? Yeah. So, again, a reach at 3rd, which is what everybody in the draft said. So, again, that worked out. Ajomo as a backup.
Yeah, he looks like he'll fit in nicely doing what Williams does. They already have Steen to fit Becton. Right? Bond was the only one that we didn't really have a true replacement for, and they brought Bond back.
And Becton isn't gone yet.
Not yet.
So we don't know. And the beginning of everything, we always said was like, look, keep Bond, keep Becton.
Yeah.
And everything would have been cool. Now you lose Slay. Slay going to Pittsburgh for $10 million. Let me start off with this. Thank you for your service. You were a great Eagle. I appreciate you. Your webcam quality annoyed me, but you were happy and you were fun and you were a great Eagle. So thank you for your service.
Yep.
You went to that team that punked you and bullied you and put you on skates and put you in the end zone.
Yeah,
wow.
That's some punk stuff, man.
Wow. That's some sucker stuff. Then on top of that, Mike Tomlin on defense, they don't play. There is a fight every training camp there.
Mm-hmm.
They're fighting. Like, he still got dudes doing Oklahoma drills. Good luck, old man.
George Pickens fights cornerbacks just because.
Just
it doesn't even need to be during a drill.
And they went out there and got DJ Metcalf. You going up against that attitude?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I can't teach the old dog new tricks. I want to see how that smile lasts on Slay's face out there working in Pittsburgh, because they work hard. And it doesn't matter if you're a vet or who you are.
Right? Not a lot of time for Slaycasts out there.
Well, you know, you might shut that down too. What's up, Andrew? So yeah, congratulations on him getting that $10 million. We weren't going to pay that. What were your thoughts on CJGJ?
I was shocked by it. Right, you weren't expecting him to go. I still thought he was on the younger side, but then you see he's getting closer to 30 compared to everyone else on the defense. And then when he released his little video response, you know, showing himself getting traded and all that and everything, it kind of sounded like he asked for more money, which he probably deserved after the Super Bowl. The Eagles said, no, thank you. And he said, I understand. And he has to be traded to a winning team. So they did that to him. And he didn't seem too mad about it, but the fans sure seem upset about the heart and soul and the grit and grind of the defense. All these made up words that don't really mean that much.
So I thank him for his service. I thank him for contributing to the Super Bowl. I thank him for being one of the alpha males in the team. When we didn't have him and we got punked by the 49ers, he was one of the first players I said, like, if he was on the team, that wouldn't have happened. Somebody would have been fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody would have been fighting. Greg, I'm going to get to you in a second. But I just didn't – I don't want to overvalue him. He's not Brian Dawkins.
Right.
But he's not a scrub.
Right. I don't want to undersell it and act like he's stunk or anything. I'll never do that to an Eagles player again. I fell for those traps when I was younger about when guys left. You found all the flaws with all those guys.
Yeah.
Nope. He fit perfectly here. He was a fun player to watch. It's just they decided to move on.
And you're happily involved in a relationship now, but you remember the days of trying to date somebody and how the struggle was real.
Yeah.
The thing that kills me about him is, like, 3 years in a row you've been moved. 4 years in a row.
4 years in a row.
Last 1 year, you're out. 1 year, you're out. 1 year. At some point, oh, men are trash. Girl, it's got to be you. At some point, girl, it's got to be something about you. You know what I mean? So hopefully the Texans give him the bag and he ends up being happy there and everything works out for him. But, I mean, don't act like he wasn't giving up touchdowns to tight ends all season.
You remember early in the season, he was the biggest coverage issue they had. We talked about that a lot, that he was an issue. And he talked about it. He said he was going to fix it.
Yeah,
and he did.
And he did. But he was getting cooked. So, again, I thank him for his service. I have Jalen Carter to be the heart and the soul, the enforcer.
Yeah. Vaughn will be a leader on this team. Like they've got leaders that are there now. Yeah.
And he's not that type of leader. Every time somebody mentions his name, he is sensitive about it.
Yeah.
Micah, and he goes about it in a tirade, and he never hasn't learned his lesson.
Right. I think Nolan Smith will be a leader too.
Yeah.
He seems like a tough leader, hard-nosed, all that.
He does. And by all accounts, everybody says Nakobe Dean's leadership is very highly touted.
Yes.
For all those young guys. So again, not forgotten. Now let me get to you, Greg, in the middle of my conversation here.
This one?
Yeah. You want Miles Sanders back? I do not.
No,
we already got a running back. We got AJ Dillon, right?
Yes, signed today.
And
we signed somebody.
Yep, and we got Shipley. So he's not coming back. I don't want him. You just said you want to talk about players. He's one of the dumbest football players I've ever seen on the Eagles. Yeah. End of the game. We need to stop the clock. This guy runs out of bounds. I mean, we need to stop the clock. This guy stays in bounds. Need to keep the clock running. He runs out of bounds.
Right.
Multiple times.
Yes.
Multiple times. Blitz pickup. What? I'm supposed to be picking it up. The blitz here. He would have bursts, and he was good. The line was good that helped him out. He went down there to Carolina. You didn't hear anything about him. You didn't hear about no 73-yard explosive runs. He's just not a bright player. He does not understand situational football at all.
He was third on their depth chart there.
So, Greg.
Yeah.
No, not happening.
Yeah, no, we're good.
We have no replacement who's going to play. Dude,
it's March.
We got 6 months to play football.
Right.
So let me just tell you. Throw that comment back up there. Who's going to be a replacement? So as far as I'm sorry, I did that.
I
You
was
got
like,
it,
what?
go ahead. So this question kills me because last year this time the Eagles lost 7 starters on defense. There were 7 holes.
Mhm.
Isaiah Rodgers was coming off of his suspension, and everybody's like, "Oh man, this is so great." Slay and Rodgers, we have our 1-2 punch because Bradbury is just falling off a cliff. He's trash. So we have our replacement. Then what happens? Quinyon comes in and eats his lunch.
Yeah.
Right. He's the starter. Who's the replacement? Nobody was thinking Quinyon was going to come in and start. We thought he was going to be a backup or a corner slot.
Yeah, they had him starting out in the slot.
Exactly. So boom there. Steen, you talked about him earlier. He was supposed to be your starter at guard.
Mhm.
He got hurt. Becton, the trash heap reclamation from the Jets, who sucks and is just there to be a backup, eats his lunch and takes his spot. So in March, I really don't want to hear that question.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about that question. I hate the fact that I'm this happy, Jason.
Also, I'm a little excited to see if Sidney Brown can do that. They drafted him. We all liked him when he first came in because he's fast and he hits everything. He seems to be a little bit of a coverage liability, but that was 2 years ago. I haven't say I really have seen him play.
Who gave up that long touchdown in the Super Bowl?
In the Super Bowl? Was it? I don't know. Was it CJGJ?
No, he was out. Starters were out.
No, the one he was right in front of Johnson, but yeah, the second one was that was McCullum.
Okay,
and he is not good.
So we'll see. Again, we'll see about Sydney. So again, they do have some players back there, but again, that's what the draft is for. That's what free agency is for, and we can't overspend because we have a lot of great players. The Eagles have such a great problem. We are hitting on our draft picks.
Yes.
And going forward, we're going to have to pay those draft picks. The offense is pretty much sewn up. Yeah. Dallas Goedert's gone.
Yeah. That's okay. He wasn't really around enough all the time either. Like, I know he's really good, but he misses a ton of games and you don't really notice him a lot out there. And then he hits a big play every once in a while and they were at key times.
Yeah. So that's the bigger thing. We're going to be in a position where we're losing the guys that we know about, and then the other guys like Howie paid a linebacker this year. He paid a running back double down and double paid a running back. Didn't need to do that, but
and that's how you lose other positions. And you pay running back and linebacker, other positions have to suffer.
But he doesn't consistently pay tight end. Right. I try to tell people like, yo, he didn't pay Zach Ertz. Right. Zach Ertz dyed his hair blonde, went Eminem. He was crying. His wife is a lovely woman. They do charity in the community. He is a beloved Eagle. And Howie's like, nah, bro, can't do it.
This is all supposed to be a really deep tight end draft also.
Yes.
So the Eagles will definitely draft one. Funny enough, the guy they hired as the quarterbacks coach, there's a big tight end from Bowling Green that's available this year. And that guy was the head coach at Bowling Green. So he's going to know a good amount about him. Harold Fannin is the tight end.
And again, Andrew, I'm not worried about that either. You might see Shipley emerge as the number 2 over Dillon. Right. They might even draft somebody in the draft later on the rounds. It's also a deep running back class.
Who knows if Dillon even makes the team?
Again, I hate being content and not caring about anything that goes on in March because normally I am living and dying on all these things. But I'm like,
2 championships will do that, right?
Yeah, like 2 championships, 3 Super Bowl appearances.
Yeah,
and I already know how it goes because I watch other teams. I watched the 49ers fall apart, losing Super Bowls and not getting back next year, let alone winning. I saw the Chiefs getting all the help in the world for a 3-peat, and they fell apart. Mm-hmm. So them losing this year, I assume they're going to not make the Super Bowl again this upcoming season, and then I expect them to bounce back. So we might have another rematch in 2 years if we don't make it back this year.
That'd be annoying.
It would be annoying, but that's how it goes.
Unless it goes the same way as the last Super Bowl.
Yeah. But that's how it goes, though, right? Like unless something special happens and you catch a wave, it is hard to repeat.
Right.
But at the same time, we are getting younger. Our offense is intact, and the defense may not be number 1 next year, but let's say they're top 5, top 10. Yeah. Then the offense just has to step up and do what they did in the championship game and in the Super Bowl.
Right. The offense needs to be top 5 with all the talent that they have, and the defense needs, just like you said, stay in the top 10. And with that young defensive core, there's no reason they shouldn't be. I don't expect a huge fall off from the defense because of the guys that left.
Yeah. You still can't throw to one side of the field because Quinyon got a lockdown, and you still can't stop Carter.
Right.
And again, I love Sweat. Thank you for your service, Milton. Thank you for your service. But you got one-on-ones because Carter had double and triple teams. Like, let's be real. That's why Jalix looked good because, again, Carter was out there playing 80% of the snaps. That doesn't happen anymore. He's been a beast out there. He's been a grown man. I've been calling him Reggie Light. Man, look, he's about to have his own name, and it's not going to have to be compared to anybody else.
Yeah, he's going to get that 35 to 40 million a year soon, too.
I want to play for a contender unless you pay me everything, unless you give me everything. Yeah. And that's what the Browns did.
You know, I make fun of that, but I'll do the same. That'd be me too.
Oh, we all would. We all would. Sweat wanted to be here. Sweat wanted to stay here. The money wasn't right. Somebody offered you more money. And in NFL, you really have to go get your money. I really don't begrudge anybody in NFL because they will cut you. They will slight you. Your money is not guaranteed. You're not getting what you think it is. You're always underpaid. You're always undervalued. And I just think you need to get your money. Unless you're an absolute bust, then you need to go get your money.
No, they won't sign another linebacker for high big money.
Andrew, what are you smoking today? I need to smoke what you're smoking right now.
They're not buying anyone expensive.
There is no way. Like, yes, first of all, they're not buying anybody expensive. Right. Second of all, again, I just said that who's not dead? N'Kobe's not dead. He just
got Trotter.
Got Trotter. You know, it's like it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
You know, there's some free agents out there that I expect them to take a look at as the price drops. You know, Justin Simmons is the safety is rumored again to want to come back and play with Fangio. We thought that was going to be the big signing last year, and they ended up getting CJGJ when we weren't ready for that. Right, that was unexpected. I think Azeez Ojulari from the Giants, the D end, is somebody they could sign cheap if the nobody else. You know, he's been sitting out there for a couple of days, and like you said, Becton's still available.
Yeah, and there's going to be guys that emerge like that come around that aren't getting taken in the first week, and then the longer they sit there,
the cheaper it gets.
The cheaper they get, and not only the cheaper they get, the better they get for that. Hey, you know what? I'm better than a 1-year deal, but if I'm going to take a 1-year deal, I want to do it with a contender.
Yes.
And those are the deals that Howie's looking to make. Would you like to be the Cowboys right now? Who have they signed for? Who have they traded for?
No, they've signed like a long snapper, and then they have a big issue because now Micah Parsons saw that Myles Garrett contract, and you know he wants to get paid.
And that's the other thing I can't take. Every other day, is Micah Parsons going to be an Eagle? He's never going to be an Eagle. By the time he's eligible to be an Eagle, we won't want him anymore. I don't want him now.
How about Josh Allen signs that big new extension and he's still the second highest paid quarterback?
That's crazy.
Behind Dak per year.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. What up, Cash for the Ghost? Thanks for hopping in live with your boys. Yeah, so Andrew, I'm just messing with you, but I don't even care who we sign. I don't even care who's available because I'm happy. And I've never been this way.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a committed married relationship and my wife's giving me blowies for breakfast and we're having sex, you know, like every other night, and like she's cooking me dinner and I'm booking trips to like Dubai for us. Yeah. Like I feel like my life it's pretty good right now. So I'm not worried about anything. The Casper just said something about the draft. The draft does have me excited. I am excited about that. You know, I'm not like a big college guy, but the last 2 seasons I have been watching more college football. So I do know more names, and there are guys that I want, that I believe in, that we're not going to get.
I can't wait for that trade down out of the first round this year to get more picks.
Yep.
That's coming.
Yep. Especially because it's the last pick of the day.
You said, so I'm still living off. My kids got the high five Saquon at the parade. We never really got to talk about that because we skipped. To see my kids that excited that they got to high five him and them all turn around like, I'm never washing my hand. This is the greatest day of my life. Like, how can you ever be mad at this team after that, right? Now they're Eagles fans. Like, they're in after that.
Yeah.
Like,
and again, it is great for the kids. What up, Anthony? It is great for the kids because when we were growing up, we didn't get winning.
No,
we didn't get winning. Now we had winning games and we had winning seasons, but we didn't get a postseason run. We didn't get a Super Bowl appearance and berth. I was at least I was born last in '80 when we went there. But I just it's so good for these kids to see a parade. You know, your kid getting to see another parade.
Right, 2 of them. Now
yeah, two parades. You know, the players coming out. You know, high fiving people, shaking hands. The Saquon picking up the ball boy and be like, "Yo, kid on the bus with his brother." Like all these things that get to happen and have memories for people. I got to host a parade show for Anthony Anthony Gargano. Like, that's a big deal for me. You know what I mean? I'm out here trying to aspire to be something better than I am. And the cuz was stuck in traffic because there's so much traffic. And they're like, "Oh, BG, can you pop in?" I was like, "Yeah." So the Eagles just making everybody's dreams come true. I am so happy with football. It's just incredible. Like, look at the Seahawks.
Yeah, rebuild city for them.
Rebuild city, and they got nothing to build with. They got Lincoln logs out that piece, and they're missing a lot of pieces, and there's glue stuck to it.
Were you confused that they signed Darnold after they traded everyone away? Because I was. That didn't make sense to me.
Are they? Do they plan on drafting all? I mean, they must plan on. We're going to hit on all our draft picks. We're going to draft all new wide receivers. I don't understand.
He was a guy. I thought he should have went to Pittsburgh. By the way,
yes,
that seemed like a great spot for him to land.
So Seattle still has their line, and their line was solid. Yeah. They're not great, but they're good enough. They're so to have a quarterback, if they plan on rebuilding through the draft, then I guess I see a path for them to try.
Yeah, one very good receiver. They have a very good running back. Their offensive line is probably middle of the pack, but still good enough.
Yeah, right? Good enough.
But, like, I don't know that Darnold is good enough though.
We're gonna find out what he is. Yeah, what do you think about the Colts?
That's a lost franchise, right? They took the gamble with Anthony Richardson early, and they kind of realized they rushed him into everything. And then he got hurt and he hasn't developed like they thought. And now they're just kind of stuck in purgatory with a bad owner. And I don't think Steichen's that good of a head coach.
I don't want to be out on Steichen because I like Steichen, but I'll just say sure. I'll say sure to that.
Like, I don't know, right?
But I'll say this, like, you go get Carson Wentz, you go get Matt Ryan, you get all these backup, washed up dudes to be your quarterback, and then you draft the guy and you throw him out there when he's injured. He's not conditioned. You throw him out there coming back off injury. So I don't know what they're doing. And then you bring in Daniel Jokes. Like, what are we doing?
That's not the move.
And you paid him $17 million. Why?
Yeah.
I would have rather had Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
I'd take $6 million Jameis or something over that. Like, I'd like to have him as my backup. Shout out to Tiny Hands too, Kenny Pickett, getting us a draft pick. You know what I mean? More Super Bowl appearances and plays than Dak Prescott, Tony Romo combined, multiplied by 17. This is so nice to see. He's traded. He's out of here. So, again, I feel vindicated when I told everybody that Tanner McKee was the man. They ain't let Tanner loose. Tanner would have got a higher draft pick. Tanner's the man, the Mormon missile. So, I take Winston too. Oh, and he's got a wing. And he's got a ring. Andrew, you're right. So, I just don't know what a lot of other teams are doing. The 49ers are bleeding out.
Yeah, cap hell.
Because
they got old and they got cap hell, right?
So they did what people want the Eagles to do. Keep everybody and pay them. And then you end up like this. They don't have any young players coming up that they're happy about it and building on for the future. And they're hemorrhaging all of their veterans that are worth something. And they're losing a lot of them in free agents for nothing.
Yeah, and they got to pay their quarterback now. They lived off him making that small salary, being a late round pick forever. And now his contract has come due, and now they're going the other way.
He made $900,000. And again, I don't know. I think that they went to him with $40 million.
Yeah.
And he said no.
He's smart.
He is. But like,
if they got rid of him right now, he could go make 40 or 50 on another team. One of those teams would sign him right away.
But would he be good?
Doesn't matter.
Out of the Shanahan system?
Who cares?
True. You're right.
Who cares?
And that's free agency, people. That's free agency. That's how you go get the money. Nobody cares. You get that check and you sign up.
He was crazy last year to not hold out, to be honest, even though his deal wasn't up, to play for $900,000 after you've gone to a Super Bowl and stuff.
And after you've been injured.
Yeah, like I
don't know if I like John Lynch either. He again, I don't even know if he's good at acquiring talent.
Yeah.
What they did for what was the quarterback? Trey Lance.
Yeah.
That was a debacle. They gave up the world for that to just give him away. And he was just bad.
Still is.
He still is bad. So
I don't like Shanahan. I think he is just a punk.
So I don't like Shanahan, but I respect his game. He got his daddy's game. He took his dad's system and he's still running it, and it works. And it just works. But the problem is that let's say I wanted to be slightful to my quarterback, who I think is top 5, who is elite, who is the number 2 quarterback in the league this year because he is Super Bowl champion and he's only got 1 versus 3. So I'll give him second. I will say this. If you close your eyes and you put up the numbers and you took Super Bowls out of it, Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts look the same except for rushing touchdowns. They look very similar, right? The one difference is that when things go wrong on the Eagles, Jalen can fix it and weather it.
Correct.
When Jalen has a 2-interception game and still wins, a 3-interception game and still finds a way to win, it's okay. When Brock Purdy has a 2-interception game, they never win. 2+, they're lost. They're never going to win the game because he just compounds on top of the problems and he starts getting skittish. And that's the thing I say what makes Jalen elite. Josh Allen, he's way better. He's way better. Not in clutch time. When his palms get sweaty and it's late in the game and they're up on Patrick Mahomes, he fumbles away the ball every single time. Lamar Jackson, same way. Every single time there's pressure, he does run the ball, bro. Just call an audible and run the ball. You are the quarterback. You have the ball in your hands. You don't. You get scared. You make mistakes. Jalen doesn't do that. Jalen, when the pressure's on, he has risen to the occasion. And maybe him losing to the Bucs in the first round, not a lot of pressure there, homie. You got to get my guy to the big dance if you want to see him perform under pressure. And that's why he's my quarterback. That's why I love him.
It's crazy watching him play, right? Because time and time again, you're right. He shows up late and when it matters most. But then the rest of the game you're watching, and it's one of the most frustrating things to watch, right? But then all of a sudden he just locks in and he just drives it down the field and puts the ball in the end zone. And you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, why? You just ran a 9-minute play to close out the game. And you couldn't keep the ball for 30 seconds in the first quarter. Like, What is going on? So again, he's a gamer. Without Kelsey being there, I think his NFL career has gotten more predictable and dependable because he's the one calling the protections for the audibles. He's the one calling audibles for the plays. He's more in control of the offense, of what he's allowed to be in control of. That's why when you see those little spats between him and Kelsey, you're like, man, what are they arguing about? Because he wants to check something. Kelsey's like, no, bro.
Right.
I called audibles. Like, so
remember how panicked we were with that going into last year too? A new center. We were like, oh man, I don't know. Like, and then it worked out pretty well.
So who else is making moves out there?
I think the Bears had a pretty good start, and they just added a bunch of offensive linemen, but that was the thing that they lacked the most, right? They got a new head coach now in Ben Johnson, who, I mean, I assume he'll be a good head coach.
Yep.
He's pretty decent as a play caller. So I think the Bears are one of the teams to watch. Denver seems to be having a pretty good offseason. They're building up that defense now. They took Dre Greenlaw from the Niners. They've added a couple other guys. I don't like what Washington's doing. They're adding all the old guys. They're taking the Sixers approach to building around a star.
Mm-hmm.
It must be Josh Harris's dream to sign a bunch of old guys around their star.
God. Oh, it's vet city out here. We need vets because he's so young. Well, your quarterback's like 92 years old already. So
right. This is when having cap space doesn't really mean a lot if you just use it up for no reason.
You're spending money to spend money and you're not getting anything real value out of it. I think for a guy like Jalen, control is key. And I want that for my franchise career. Yes, you're right.
Slacking today.
Yeah, right.
Trying my best. I'm rusty.
Yeah, you are rusty. It's all good. That's why we're paying you double.
That's
why
right.
we paying you double. And Jalen, I trust too. That's my quarterback. I don't care what nobody say. I got ammo for days. But you're right about the Commanders. The Commanders are trying to be all in, but I just don't. I don't see it. And also, I think they fall back to the mean. Because they won so many games last year on luck.
Even their playoff games were lucky. They beat Tampa with a last-second field goal, right? Detroit, that defense was starting me and you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and then they showed up against the Eagles and got smacked.
Yep. Hey, Fred, what's up, brother? So, again, that's even a statement that I don't even care about at the moment. No team has made I don't know what moves have been made. I don't know who's drafted who. I don't know who's fallen in the draft. I don't know who's going to show up, who's not. Like, until I get to training camp, I don't know how much of a gap has been closed. I know that the teams that are supposed to be there, I still got the Lions, who they had injuries. Their gap is already closed, bro. Yes. They're already here. Like that, they're not losing a lot of people either. They're actually being built very well. They got a lot of young guys. They got a lot of talent. Their gap is health. That's the only reason gap that they had. Green Bay is hot or cold. You know, they get a couple of guys in there and they can be right back in. I don't believe in Jordan Love, but they're still in the mix there, but they're going to be beating up on each other in that division. I think the Vikings take a step back.
Small step, yep.
I think the 49ers take a huge step back. They're getting decimated.
Rams probably are right there again.
The Rams are right there again. The gap is not close for the Rams.
Right.
So, you know, there's the line.
They were the best team in the NFC.
Yeah, the Lions don't have a QB problem. They had an injury problem. They had an offensive line, had a defensive injury problem. I don't believe in their quarterback. I know he can throw 5 picks in a game, but dude, they were throwing up 44 points on everybody every single week. Oh, I guess you could say that. They did lose their offensive genius, their guru.
True.
So maybe that makes them okay. Philly, what up, player? I should have you call in, you know what I mean? What's my phone number? What's my
9999.
Yeah. What's my phone number? I'm a terrible person.
40-6.
Yeah, do the thing. Nope, that's shopping. We ain't shopping.
We were close.
We ain't shopping.
Man, we are rusty after a month off.
I am. What is that? Nope, that is not it.
One of these buttons.
That's a text line. We're not doing that. What is this? Isn't it blackready.com/call?
We lost that service.
It is blackready.com/call.
Dang.
So Philly, you want to get in here, go put that in your browser. blackready.com/call. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. If it's not, then you can't come in here. But anyway.
610-632.
So let's talk about that for a second. Talk about calling in. The local radio has lost their mind.
Oh man, it's trash.
Hugh Douglas and James Seltzer are the only two people on the radio that aren't crying. Oh, he lost. What are we doing? We lost the players. We never going to do anything. And then what is we going to do? And I'm like, it's March. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, they're struggling.
Andrew, why are you messing with me today? What is that? I ain't done a show in 3 weeks.
We don't talk about that team.
And Andrew, you just been poking the bear today. You just all up the Sixers. And it's funny too, because people keep asking me to make a video about Daryl Morey. I guess I should do that. I will step in and do that.
I'll block you.
But you better block. I hate making fat jokes about people because I'm fat, because then it looks weird. But he needs to block a donut and get a oxygen mask on, because he'd be killing me, dog. He just wheezing all the time.
Crumble cookie, right? That's what he said about Tobias.
Yeah, bro. The Sixers fans they are angry. Like, just stop talking.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are angry.
yes,
That is correct.
Yes.
Actually, I'm not even angry with the Sixers anymore. I just don't care.
You don't care.
I don't pay any attention.
I'm
excited for the lottery again, which took me back like 10 years.
And we're not getting capture the flag.
Nope, that's okay. We're still in the lottery. It's still fun to watch the lottery happen now.
Ping pong balls are bouncing. So yay Sixers. That's about all the Sixers talk. Same thing with the Flyers. Oh, you're Black Gritty. You don't talk about Flyers. You're a Fugazi.
Yeah.
Why would I talk about the Flyers? The Flyers told the fans 2 years ago, when they had their whole restructuring and they brought in
Danny Briere
and
Jonesy. Yeah.
Look, this is a process. We're going to be rebuilding. We're going to be redoing. We're going to do all the blah, 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 blah. They told everybody that. And the 4 Flyers fans that are hardcore, like, we need to do. You know what? They got rid of your boy. Been here 11 years. They got rid of the heart and soul of the team. 11 years of losing. Yeah. I thank him for his service. I thank him for weathering the storm and being one of those shining lights. Well, now I got Mishkov for that.
And then the coach doesn't play him.
And the coach doesn't play him. So all I want to do is watch these games and watch Mishkov. So in 7 years, I can say I watched his rookie season and I saw the light and I saw him being great. And that's all I want to do. I just want to enjoy these games when we get the wins and we get the losses. I don't care. We're not going anywhere. They told you to have a plan. 2027, all my chips are in.
They got like a bunch. They got like 10 draft picks in the next 2 drafts or something like that.
Yep,
right? Something crazy like that.
Yep, and a lot of them you'll never see because they're going to be bundling and moving and trying to build a team, and that's the way it is.
I do miss good Flyers hockey though. Like I love when the Flyers are good.
It is a different vibe, and again, that's why I just watch the game in consumption and enjoy when we get a win. When we get a loss, I don't even get angry.
Right.
Because I already understand and don't expect anything different. Yeah, Mishkov is the only thing that makes it worth checking in. Yep. And again, I've seen flashes already. Where I'm like, yo, this kid, woo,
He's for real, yeah.
this boy is special. This boy is special. And Andrew, you want Cooper Flag? Everybody wants Cooper Flag. We're not getting him now. I don't want him to come here. He deserves better than the 76ers organization.
Hope he goes to the Spurs.
Right? Let him go out there, Wemby.
Win that thing again, yeah.
Wemby being injured is
scary.
Yeah. Because of his size and structure. It was one of those things too where he has never had a major injury yet. I watched some video on him over there where he does all these like foot exercises. And he plays basketball barefoot a lot. Yeah. So him starting to get injuries, that's just going to compound on him and his body and his frame. So, wish him well because he's just fun to watch.
Yes.
It's a blood clot, right?
It is.
Yep. So scary. And that's hockey. We're done with that too. What? Anything else?
I mean, we talk Stephen A. Smith. If you want to talk about that for a second with LeBron, we could talk Phillies if we think we're not. I mean, it's still early for that. There's not a lot to talk about there.
Next week we'll get into the Phillies because things will be progressed and Harry will be here.
Yeah, the Stephen A. thing was kind of funny, and then he's trash talking on other podcasts when he was scared face to face with LeBron.
Not only was he scared face to face, he went on I have to make a video about that. He went on his show, which is on ESPN, so he had to like cowtail and whatever. But then he went on his own show where he be cussing and fucking this and shit and that, and I don't give a shit. And he still cowtailed again. He goes on there with Gill and he's like, "Oh, the brother's a bitch. I never thought he wasn't." I'm like, "Yo, bro, you thought you were a puppy wetting yourself when LeBron was standing there in front of you. You didn't say a word. Then you went on national TV the next day and didn't say a disparaging word on your national show and on your personal show. Then 10 days later, you get around a whole bunch of brothers and now you want to act hip hop. That's why I don't like Stephen A. Smith. He thinks he's so special. He thinks he's the man. And I'm like, bro, you're a goofy.
What do you think about that? So somebody told the truth about his son?
What truth?
Yeah, that's what.
What truth? That the 55th pick in the draft is being talked about like he's a first round pick, like he's a first overall pick. Let me tell you something. The 3 picks before LeBron James Jr., the 3 picks after him. Name one of them. I could, but you couldn't. Then I'm going to tell you that their stats in the league are pretty much the same, but in the G League, Bronny's out there averaging 21. The next closest in the 3 picks ahead of him and behind him don't even have 5 points in the G League average. He's averaging 21 in the G League. So when they keep saying his son took somebody's spot, whose spot did he take?
Right. Name the person.
Name the person. Whose spot? Because they're second rounders. They all suck. When have they spent this much time talking about a second rounder? You're doing it for clicks and views. And telling the truth about his son and his playing is one thing. Telling LeBron James he's a bad parent for speaking positively about his son is crossing the line.
Yep.
And that's what Stephen A. Smith said when he tucked his tail between his legs. So him going on acting out now like, "Oh, I didn't say nothing." Yes, you did. You talked about a parent being a father when you should have just kept it basketball.
Right. We're both dads. If somebody ever said I wasn't a good dad, we're going to have a problem.
For real.
We're going to have a problem. That's just.
And not only saying it, you said it to, "I'm the #1 show in America. I got 120 million." So you told 120 million people I'm a bad dad?
Yeah.
When you don't even have custody, you didn't raise your daughters. You got babies out of wedlock. You ain't got no mother. You ain't got no wife. You out here trying to be a pimp player. And what are you talking about? LeBron James is a family man, married, see his wife every night he home, 3 kids, never arrested, no problems. But you want to question his fatherhood, his parenting. Shut the fuck up. Like Andrew, Andrew, that he can't play? Like I just told you, nobody in the second round can play.
Right.
Every once in a blue moon, you get a Draymond Green, and you talk about it for a decade because most of your second round guys don't show up.
Yeah, somehow Jokic was a second rounder, but that doesn't even make sense.
Again,
right?
That happens. But for the most part, none of them can play. So why does it matter if he can't play?
Right.
Because his name is James.
That's it.
So talking trash on him, like, why aren't you talking trash on the other 23 second rounders that aren't doing a thing in the league?
Shit, Giannis's brother sits on the bench in the NBA and doesn't do anything.
2 of Giannis's brothers sat on the bench in the NBA and didn't do a damn thing. How many coaches' sons get coaching jobs and can't coach for shit because their daddy was on the team? Andy Reid's sons had coaching jobs.
And they should. If you're a dad, you should do that. Right?
Yes. And Fred, people are living on LeBron James content. I'm just saying. It's like, yeah. Oh, yes. Andrew, he was, like I said, Andrew, he was saying wild stuff like, oh, as a father, you shouldn't say that about your son. I shouldn't say that I think my son can play in the NBA. Like, if you're a father, you talk good about your kid. Now, me, I'm crazy.
You're tough. You're tough.
I am a tough dad.
Right.
You do know that. I say, hey, wrestling, my daughter's a 500. You know what I mean? She'll win a match, she'll lose a match. She'll win 2, she'll lose 2. Yo, on any given day, she can beat anybody. On every given day, she gonna lose to the worst player on the team because it's about her mentality. You know what I mean? She goes out there for softball. She's good, has great moments. She's not the best. I always told her, I said, look, I don't need you to be the best, but I need you to practice and try like you're the best and care about it. Like, if you don't care about it, we're not going to do it. Give effort, maximum effort. So that me as a dad, I'm a little tough. I am different, but like people say, oh, your daughter, yeah, my daughter's pretty cool. You know what I mean? She handles her business. She does what she's supposed to do. But again, as a parent, I'll always say people like you do. We have good kids.
Yep. That's all.
My kid's a good kid, not disrespectful, listens, pays attention, does what they're told, does what's asked of them, and is respectful to their elders and their peers for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, so as a father, Stephen A. Smith saying that, and that's why he backtracked. But again, he got around the boys. Once you get around the homies, you know what I mean? You get all, I said it was a bitch move. LeBron a bitch, you know what I'm saying? LeBron here? Oh, yeah. LeBron here? Yeah. LeBron a bitch, though. Like, next time he sees LeBron, now he's really going to have a problem. Because you called him a bitch multiple times. And I don't know if you know this about LeBron James. He does not like being called a bitch. Howard out here begging to be back on the Lakers for years now, and they could use a center. He could have had a backup job, but you call LeBron a bitch, you don't get a job.
Yep, you're done.
Chauncey, whatever his name is down there in Miami, whatever the guy's name is, shooting threes, whatever. He called LeBron a bitch. He ain't never get another job again. Hey, Draymond called KD a bitch. KD like, I'm gone. Like, you just can't do it. And so for Stephen A to say that on repeat on a podcast, like, bro, you wildin'. We're right about that too. You just gotta watch what you say about people.
We need this year when all those lists come out and those guys put Jalen low on the list. We need to not fall for that nonsense because we know how good he is. Like, those guys are idiots, man.
I need content.
I know.
I need content.
We'll talk about it because it's fun to talk about on here. But when people get so bent out of shape over that, like, I don't care what Chris Sims thinks. I don't care what Chase Daniels thinks.
Yeah.
I don't care what Acho thinks because next week he'll like him. 1 week he likes him. 1 week he hates him. Shady, the same bullshit.
Shady said that Deba is the best player in the NFL.
Yeah, well.
He wasn't the best player on the team.
Right, not the best receiver on the 49ers.
That was McCaffrey as the best player.
Yes, by a lot.
And then receiver, it wasn't him.
No, that's why they paid Ayuk and traded him.
So Fred sent me a message the other day. I started message you back, Fred. I've been not busy. I'm lying. You said it. I listened to it. And then I was going to send you a message back. Then I got busy and then I forgot to do it. But he sent me a suggestion of like reaching out to some of these other, Instagrammer podcast people and debate them on their quarterback situation. If I get them one-on-one, I'll be out here cooking with Crisco. I might reach out to a couple guys. There's like 2 goofy Chiefs guys that I want to go debate. And not because I want to say that Jalen's better than them, but I just want to see them be sad that they lost, and it makes me feel good inside. I'm not going to win that battle with them, but don't matter. It'll feel good. I'd like to find a commando out here who's going to tell me that Jaden Daniels is the second coming and whatnot. So
they really think that's the truth.
They do.
He's nice.
What happened to Cooper Kupp? Cooper Kupp go somewhere?
Cooper Kupp is getting released. He didn't go anywhere yet that I saw. I know he's released now.
Cooper Kupp. Yeah. So again, there's so many moves and they're all ancillary. Ingram is going to Denver.
Yeah.
I hate who's the coach for Denver?
Sean Payton.
I hate Sean Payton.
Same.
I think he's a scuzz
We're
bucket.
on the same page on that one.
But the team's going to be good, and they're going to get better.
By the way, you know what was the funniest signing? The
What?
Ravens getting DeAndre Hopkins. They love some washed wide receivers in Baltimore, don't they? Because he's done. I'm not even going to even pretend he's good. Like, because whatever he did in the Super Bowl when he fell down on that one pass where he was wide open, like that was just embarrassing.
So he has a picture from 2020, and it's him, Lamar, and Henry. He's like, what if we were on the same team? Wonder how many points we'd score, right? And one of the top comments was, Lamar is scoring 35 through the air, 5 on the ground.
Yeah.
Henry scoring 20 on the ground.
Yeah.
And Hopkins is scoring 0.
Yeah, and he's there.
He's scoring 0, but he's accounted for 7 touchdowns because when he drops and fumbles the ball, Henry or Lamar will pick it up and run it in. I said, if that shit don't feel right, I don't know what does. Like, cause he can't catch anymore, and he's out here trying to juice up, just trying to keep up. So, yeah. So we talked about Dallas earlier. Dallas is gone.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to trade for him though.
So here's the thing. I think somebody's going to trade for him, and it might be a 4th or 5th round pick.
Yeah.
But if he stays, he's going to be unhappy because they don't want to pay him for what he's getting paid now.
Nope.
They don't want to pay him. So he's not getting a new contract. So if he does stay, he's staying under duress, and he might be dyeing his hair blonde and doing Eminem stuff too, like Zach did. And then they trade him in the middle of the season. Colts, Jets, Seahawks, Bears, Chargers. Okay, so we talked about the Colts already. They're trash pandas and they're fucked. The Seahawks are fucked. The Bears are good. They're getting better. Their line's getting better. The Chargers, who's got it better than us? Almost everybody. Now the Jets. The Jets, I feel so bad for Fields. Happy he got his $40 million. Go get your bread because you deserve some money, but you deserve better than the Jets. They do have a new coach, but they always have a new coach, and they're still the Jets. And I even like their coach. He's a no nonsense, no holds barred defensive mind, and I just don't know.
Could be worse. They could still have Aaron Rodgers.
They could still have Aaron Rodgers.
Why does any team want to sign him? Let alone 3 teams are in the market for him right now.
Yeah,
that's craziness to me.
Yeah. Carolina's taking anybody. They're trash pandas. The Jaguars aren't doing that. So the Jaguars, if you look at the Jaguars, do you know about the Jaguars?
What do you want to know about them?
Duval.
So I know that. That's all I got.
Duval. God, it's so fucking cringe still. No, but they got that young Thundercat GM who's playing Madden. And I actually like the way he's playing Madden.
Hey.
He's like, I want everybody that's old off this team.
Good.
I want everybody that I don't like off this team.
Cool.
I
we'll
want
take that
all
D
the
lineman from Georgia, Trayvon Walker. We'll put him back with the crew.
He's like, I want all the bad contracts off this team, and he's like trying to reboot. So at least he's got a plan. I don't know if it's gonna work because it's Jaguar Nation, but at least he's doing something. He's out here making this little waves. The smartest
thing about that plan is you can get 4 years out of that plan. Like you don't get fired quick on that plan because you're like, hey, this year I got to get rid of everyone. Next year, it's going to be bad.
Yep.
Then we should start seeing a little bit. Like you can really extend your career that way.
Wait, who's he talking about being washed? Aaron Rodgers? Oh, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers. So we're worst. Where does Aaron end up?
I hope he goes to Minnesota just to follow the Brett Favre thing, but it looks like he's going to go to Pittsburgh.
If he goes to Minnesota,
that's the funniest story ever.
I might smack you in the back of the head just to hit somebody. I got to hit somebody on that because that's wild behavior. If he goes to Pittsburgh, that would be. If he goes to Pittsburgh, I actually love to see it because Mike Tomlin's not playing no games.
Does Mike Tomlin openly start drinking with that whole team? If Aaron Rodgers and Pickens and Metcalf, does he just drink on the sidelines?
No, he's not gonna start drinking on the sidelines. He might start squaring up. He might just jab somebody bop when they come on the field. He might
damn, he hit him.
Because he already gets in people's faces as it is. And he's got that black Air Force One energy all the time. I just want to see somebody get in Aaron Rodgers' ass.
Yeah.
Because guess what?
Phrasing.
No matter what he says, he's got job security. Okay. The Rooney's don't fire nobody. He can get out there and show his ass on national TV. Well, we hired him to do a job and he's 9-8. We're going to keep the shit moving. So I would love to see Aaron Rodgers and his bullshit show go down to Pittsburgh and have to deal with a real coach. Like, again, Mike's in a bad rut right now. He's too good for his own britches. He can't get low enough to get a quarterback. So they're in like purgatory, but I would love to see that. What else are they throwing up there?
Just potential draft picks for the Eagles at 32.
Oh, I don't care about none of that.
Yeah, I think they trade out of 32, honestly.
And again, it's March 12th. I don't care about none of that.
It's time to start looking, but
it's time to start looking, but not today.
Yeah, we don't know the picks yet.
Not today. Not today. Not today. Cause winning and I'm happy and I don't like this feeling. It's weird.
It is weird.
It is weird.
It is cool because we're going to be the first game of the season too, because we're the Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, Andrew, are you today? Is this the day you just? Are you just fucking with me today, Andrew? Yeah. Andrew is just like throwing grenades in the chat. You're super active, and I appreciate you. You just keep poking the bear. They have tiny hands, Andrew. They traded for tiny hands. They got their quarterback, buddy. What do you mean, Russell Wilson? Is Russell Wilson going there?
It's possible.
I mean, they need 9 quarterbacks.
That quarterback room will be Deshaun, Russ, and tiny hands.
Man, you got the Lord, the massage, and tiny hands. That'd be wild.
They said that Deshaun's gonna be like, "Hey, I like those tiny hands."
Pause. Disrespectful. Justin Simmons.
Yeah, we talked about him. He could be coming, maybe.
He's a Vic guy, right?
He was. I heard he didn't like Vic Fangio, but I guess now after trying to go to the Falcons last year, he kind of got to go somewhere now. He's like, hey, Vic is kind of cool.
Well, also the defensive backs coach is here too. And it's one of those things too, where like, I can see people not liking Vic, right?
Yeah, he's mean.
But when you played your best under him and you're trying to get your way back,
trying to get paid again.
Let me get back to the guy that put me in the best position to play. Again, and that's coaching. You're a coach. You know how kids are. Like, they can be mad at you, but then when they start seeing results, they're like, oh, well, I guess this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I really do like their D-backs coach, Christian Parker. I hope he stays here, but I have a feeling that's not going to be the case next year. I hope he stays.
I hope he stays with a path to get elevated and he's learning on the job, and because I do like him too. Yeah. Mekhi Becton has not moved yet. I was predicting a hometown discount by him because he loves Philadelphia and Philadelphia loves him. We will see. That one lineman, that one guard just got like $80 million. And I was like, oh.
I will tell you, the guard they traded for, he is a project, we'll say. He was a first-round pick, but he has not been good in Houston.
Okay, so let's talk about that. How do you compare him to how Mekhi was with the Jets?
Becton was hurt a lot more, and he was playing right tackle, and he refused to move positions for the Jets. He said he would never play anywhere but right tackle. And never wanted to move into guard, even though the Jets had asked him. And then he came here, and the Eagles like, "Want to try guard?" He was like, "Yeah, whatever, I'll try that."
Yeah.
And then resurrected his career. Brown he's young. He was 20 when he got drafted, or not? Sorry, Green. I apologize. He was 20 when he got drafted, so he's still really young. He's younger than some of the guard prospects in the draft this year,
and he's been injured too.
Yeah. But he is a project.
So he's there. You go. I was about to say same size, same weight. I like that because, again, injured guy, young guy. Yes. You come in the league, you're 20 years old. You can't even drink yet, bro. Mm-hmm. You get a little bit of money. You're a first-round pick, top 15. You go to an organization that, not for nothing, got a little juice lately, but they don't know what they're doing yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? They made a splash because they came out and did all those moves and caught people by surprise. Well, surprise next year, we got you, buddy. Okay, this is what you're about. So I love this pick because he's 23 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think about the future. I'm starting to think about what's going on, but I would prefer to keep Mekhi here. But we'll see. Again, I'm not going to you're not going to trick me into stressing out. You're not going to get me to freak out, bros. I'm just trying to live my life in peace and joy.
I think Becton signs another 1 year. Like, teams might need to see it again before they can pay him. He's still pretty young.
I was thinking that too.
Right.
I was thinking that too.
The quad
bros. The quad bros.
Yeah. AJ Dillon is Quadzilla.
We're tush pushing all over this bit. You know what I mean? I like having a power back there. He also picks up the blitz very well, which is a key thing for, again, why is Kenny Gainwell out there? Because he knows how to play the game of football.
So remember how many times people said that?
every time.
And then now that he signed in Pittsburgh, people are like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" Like, oh man, that's confusing.
It is what it is.
I love Kenny G.
Yep, Kenny G was good for us. Again, I hated hearing everybody cry. Was he getting the ball, bro? He's serviceable.
He was a good second running back.
Yes, he was. He did his job, and he didn't fumble the ball. He didn't make you feel bad about it. It's just that he wasn't popping off 50-yard runs like Sanders or Saquon.
Saquon breaks him off at rates nobody's ever seen.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it's all good. Anything else?
No. This was a good just to get back in the flow.
Yeah,
we're choppy today because just convo style.
Yeah, we're just living a dream. Because again, nothing's happened for us really.
Yeah,
like we've let people go, and again, I will remember you. Like all that's going on. I was talking to Johnny Marks this morning. We're talking about like that's the song I play when I don't like the guy. Yeah. But like if I do like the guy, I'd be like, although we
yes, man, you beat me to
the end. So yeah, we were singing songs that like we'd sing like when we lose a guy.
Yeah.
Or like when we sign somebody, like how excited we're gonna be.
Yeah, or it's so hard to say goodbye.
Yep, he caught that one too.
Boyz II Men had all of them.
Yeah, they had all the bops. I forget what song I said about when I get excited. But anyway, I'm so excited.
There you go.
And I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control. And I think, so Howie SZN. And Howie we trust, all the hashtags, all the things. And I don't like being happy, but I am.
With all of our music stuff getting clipped, or are we no longer allowed to play the 49ers song too? Did they clip that one too? Like, does that get, I know our intro got clipped. We had to get rid of that.
Yeah. Well, I think us singing is legal.
Yeah.
Oh, Fred, you got any shirt? That's what's up, Fred.
Hey.
I wore my Blood on the Grass Rio shirt yesterday. So yeah, I gotta get some new stuff coming for the season. Actually, there's only 119 of y'all in here. Nobody knows. So I want to make Jalen bucks.
So I remember you saying
I was gonna make gritty bucks, so I'm designing a Jalen Hurts buck, where it's like Super Bowl and it's got some of his quotes on there and it's got Jalen we trust on the thing.
Wait, is that my signing bonus?
Yeah, I mean you can have this one. This is more than 0 than 0 though, so I might have to get half of this back. Actually, here you go. There's a torn one right here, so you can definitely take this one because that one you can mend it up with some duct tape. But yeah, I'm trying to make some commemorative Jalen bucks, and I got something great coming down the line for George W's. I'm trying to decide. I got a good thing for George W. Should I unveil it for baseball or should I save it for football season?
Football season.
Dang, I gotta go all summer not doing my George W. thing.
I mean, you can still keep
I'm still doing it, but the merch thing.
There's too many. That's a lot. Baseball games, a lot of games.
There are a lot of games. Yep, Breeder One bills. Like I was only going to do 100 of them, and then I was going to send the first bill to Jalen, and I was going to sell the other 98 because I'm gonna keep one for myself, but I'm gonna keep like 99 so somebody can get the even 100 and have all the numbers in between.
Love hurts.
Love hurts.
And I wanted that hoodie so bad, and then everybody in the world got it, and it came out a month after I was all excited to get it. I'm like, I don't want it anymore.
Nope, everybody got the t-shirts.
I wanted it at the parade, like right then. Yep. I'm like, I need it. And they're like, yeah, in 4 weeks. Like, no, I don't have that.
So who's in lockup? This tubby white guy jumped over the fence, stripped Jalen Hurts of his hoodie. He got stomped out pretty bad by the players. I'm thinking about just letting him go.
Could you imagine me trying to jump the fence? I'll just fall over and get hurt.
I really don't want to book this guy. He's really lumped up bad.
They really gave it to him.
I think Jordan Mailata gave him to people's elbow. When they say love hurts, I mean, he really felt it.
Emphasis on hurts.
Oh, God.
Also, they need to make that hoodie in red or green instead of the red. I don't need that Chicago Bulls black and red because it's Jordan brand shit.
Oh, that was what was great. When I saw the GOAT taking Michael Jordan out to dinner, I said to myself, look, Jordan has some redemption because Jordan ain't never, ever had that savoir-faire like that. Now, Jordan got aura, all that kind of stuff. Jordan's a quitter. Not Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts got benched, went back out there, did his job. Jalen Hurts went out there, got another job. Michael Jordan got benched in high school, and then he quit in the pros twice like a little bitch. Harry's not here, so I can say whatever I want to say.
He's about to just hop in all of a sudden out of nowhere. Just Harry's in, like, what?
What you say about Jordy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was nice that the GOAT took Jordy out to dinner. And yeah, that you're right about that with the red and the thing.
Yeah, if that was green.
Yeah. Side hustle, about to go make my own shirt.
Do it.
Lovers.
Marcus Williams could be a safety for the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. So many options. So many options.
Somebody will be there. They'll get a veteran.
Jordan took a baseball like a little punk pit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, just for the Eagles thing, real quick, you take any, worry about people like there's no veteran leadership on the defense, because I don't.
There is veteran leadership on the defense.
I know, but people keep saying those guys have been there for a couple of years.
Actually, who's veteran left?
I mean, what do you consider a veteran?
Reed Blankenship.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he's still young too.
Yeah.
The leader of the secondary, you mean? According to Slay?
Yeah. I mean, who do we get? We don't have no leaders.
Their defense is young.
What are we ever gonna do?
I don't know. Probably not play.
I got Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
I got the oldest guy out there on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just not worried. I'm not worried, and it's a bad place for me to be in because I'm happy and I'm content. But I'm gonna live like this for as long as I can. Start freaking out and worrying about everything. And it probably won't happen for me until after the draft. Brandon Graham is officially on that. You're right. BG still there. Yeah, but I feel like he's gonna retire. But you're right.
So I'm not in a rude way, but he probably should, right? After hurting his tricep again.
What if he was just on the team as like an emotional bear?
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean, just give him $2 million, keep him around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Talk up that.
Right.
Yep. Give him a couple snaps a week. You know what I mean? Let him cruise through practice. You know what I mean? Player coach.
I'm for it.
Look, let him be Udonis Haslem.
Yes.
In Miami. He can be Haslem. He just be out there talking trash, be the enforcer. You know what I mean?
They're like, yo, you trying to go in the game? Like, no.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He be out there on the coin flip. Yo, team's a bunch of bitches. Yo, BG, come on, I gotta play. Yeah, I'm gonna play too. You ain't playing. Shut up. Get out there and get him. Do what I said I was gonna do.
But BG's been doing that for a decade now.
Yep. I had that one mic'd up where was it my lot or whatever? He was like, stop talking. You don't even have to play him. Leave him alone.
It was Kelsey saying that to him.
Oh, it was Kelsey.
That's one of the big D tackles on the Giants.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
He's like, yo, bro, I have to play him. You don't. Like, leave him alone. Go mess with your own guy. That was funny because that's how it should be, where you're just like, yo, why you just
don't piss that guy off?
Yeah, right. I gotta see him all day.
Yeah.
Just like you hear the stories about the one guy who got Reggie'itis. He was like, oh yeah, well, such and such is out today, so you're gonna have to go up against Reggie. He was like, what?
Yeah, like no.
He's like, I went in the training room, like, what's wrong with you? He's like, nothing. He's like, they said you're out. He's like, oh, I am.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that today. Like, not today. I'm not going out there all day against Reggie White. He's like, you think I want to go out there? He's like, hey, you young, you gotta earn your stripes. I was like, yo, that's wild behavior. That's wild behavior. So yeah, good times. Yeah, we hit the hour mark. We did our job. We did our part. We're back in here. We're gonna try and get back in the swing of things. The show's on Wednesday day. We're gonna get back on Tuesdays. Yep. And go Phils. The Fightins are gonna be back. Hockey, stop crying about it. And the Sixers, you're dead to me.
Yeah, man, I can't.
You're dead to me.
Although, Quentin Grimes, more 30-point games than that fraud PG-13.
I told you about Way Off P.
We knew.
Hate that guy.
We knew.
He's better than LeBron James. Like, some people just shouldn't have a microphone. I know these microphones they're not that expensive, but some people shouldn't have one either way. I'm your boy Black Gritty. This is Jason. Follow us on the socials. Links are in the thingy, and do the thing and with the thing. And I appreciate you. Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, it felt good to be back.
For throwing grenades at your boy. Keep me on my toes. I feel like Andrew's just like plucking me in the side of the head the whole show. Like, yo,
he's giving you like scenarios. Like, what happens if this happens? Like, oh, well, I don't know.
Like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, man, it's nice to see everybody, man.
Yep, good seeing y'all. Yep, be good. Have a good week. Later.